Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Yasha Allah. Call Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakakodash. For blessing our elders with the spirit of truth so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwat that's keeping the faith in the workshop emphatic. So Brother Abaya coming at you with more quoted precepts. Oh boy. Yeah, scripture tells us to walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the times, because the days are evil. Alright? And really, it's a joyous occasion that we are witnessing, because we're witnessing the end of hell. I want to say it's in Isaiah 5 where it describes us being in captivity, us not having, any say-so, us not having leadership in high places that can make changes, they can stand up for us, and the majority of our people lacking knowledge is hell. We experience this every day, having to go to our enemies and one of all things, having to work by the sweat of our brows, and like I said, not having a say. You not having a voice in the world, man, is hell. Because what that means is whoever it is that's in charge, they can do whatever it is they want to do to you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. All right? What I mean nothing you can do about it, I mean nothing you can do about it to change the system. There's nothing you can do about it. You can do whatever about your own circumstance. That's why you got a lot of these individuals out here strung out on drugs. That's why you got people unaliving themselves. It's plenty of things a person can do to get out of the situation, kind of, sort of. But what is that going to solve, So we looking for the real change that's going to come with Yahweh Shai, the change that equates to, the taking down of this world and the beginning of the world to come, because we know all about oppression, man. All right, and I'm talking about oppression is embedded in our DNA so bad, and we see a finish line, and we know that it's near, so it's hoping that. Otherwise, what would be the point? Just being real. People live and people go back to the Father every day. So what would be the point of striving in this place? Otherwise, just I don't mean to be sounding so bleak, but this place sucks, man. All right? This place is trash. And I'm talking about the whole of it. And I ain't just talking about the system. Right? Well, I am talking about the system, because the system basically involves everything. It involves the food we eat, the medical system, the educational system. It involves all of that. We are attached to a system whose whole directive is to ensure that we suffer, right? And how crazy is that, man? You got a whole system set up to make sure that a people suffer, right? Sole purpose of this system is to make sure that the people suffer, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't be so. The things that it wouldn't be like this. For example, the healthcare. Right? I got health problems, and they some real problems, but it stems from hold on now, y'all doing a little bit too much. All right, get the hell not Yahweh. But it stems from, the curses first and foremost. All right, us having to, eat our bread, eat our defiled bread amongst the Gentiles, man. We eating all this food, man. And like I said, I was born in the 80s. Matter of fact, I was born in 80. So I came up around the time where, you had fast food restaurants that was becoming a thing. The mom and pops restaurants was kind of fading away, and the fast food joints was coming in, and a lot of the the carcinogenic food, which means cancer causing food of today, it started when I was a kid. All right, a lot of the candy, the chips and fake ass food and all that stuff, that really came into play when I was a child growing up. And as a result of the curses, fatherless homes, and a mother more occupied with herself and her life than worrying about her young. That meant we ate more of the nonsense. We ate more of that than home cooked meals, and that shit tore my body up. And now I'm seeing, like I said, I'm seeing it now as a grown man. I'm seeing the result of all of that, toxic, so-called food, I guess you can call it, and everything else just entering into my body. And growing up in that, it did a number. And I know I'm not the only one. It's a lot of us that's dealing with things. Yeah, man. I said, man, this place sucks, man. I ain't lying. The medical system is a joke. You can go to a doctor, man. That doctor won't try to heal a damn thing. Right? Matter of fact, I saw a video of a lady was speaking about the dentist, and how you would go to the dentist and they'll see a problem, but they'll tell you there is no problem to make sure that you come back. Right? So if you're doing that to individuals that already can't afford to be constantly going, man, this place sucks, man. I ain't lying, this place sucks, man. Right? But the Lord got us going through our trials and tribulations, not just for us, but to be edifying for those that are around us. Scripture tells us that we're supposed to be a light to the world. So my pain, I have to take it through the scriptures to get understanding, to bring to the people to have understanding, right, about what they may be going through, right? And so that the individual that's hearing it can then do the same thing, right? But ultimately, man, like I said, the Lord just, man, I said the Lord doing away with this place. And I speaks in Isaiah, I want to say 61, where it speaks about the gospel, opening of the prisons to the prisoners, declaring the acceptable year of the Lord. And how about Shemi Awashai Ratazar? That year is extremely close. Right, I'm talking about in the next few, because everything is in place. Everything is in place. Policies as it pertains to the MOTB, the climate of the social climate of the world, civil unrest, civil war, World War III. That's been in the making for a while. And we're seeing it intensify as each year goes by, whether it's with Iran or whether it's with Russia or whether it's with China or whoever, right? Because Scripture tells us that all these nations will be involved, and the Lord will gather the nations into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is what's going on in Iran, right? We're seeing that. We're seeing daughter of Babylon's allies turn on her because of her ways. You know, we seeing all of the end time prophecies happening, and like I said, man, that gives hope, right? Because this damn devil will not let us live, man. This devil will not allow us to live, bro. A simple, basic human right we don't have to live. Right? In the kingdom, man, we're gonna give individuals that right. You're gonna be able to live peaceably at that. Right? That shows the different dynamics between good and evil, man. We living in this wicked ass world, you know, like scripture says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and we see. Right? Esau, Edom is starting to see it now, because they're starting to experience what we've been experiencing since this place was created, and even before. Right? The thing that's inside of us, man, that spirit that's inside of us, that's how I know we are what scripture tells us we are, because nobody else can do what we do. Nobody else can go through what we go through, man. Put up with what we put up with and still have hope, still have joy, still experience some form of life. Even though we're not living, we enjoy the moments, you know, the little moments that we may have with our family, or the, you know, whatever laugh we may get here or there. We enjoy those things, and we hold those things in our memory. Esau Edom can't do that, man. He can't do it. Yeah, we'll hold on to a memory so tight, man, it'll bring us out of a lowly situation. Esau can't do that. And why that dude be jumping off buildings and things? Because he can't do that. He only thinks about, you know, what he can get next. That was his problem from the jump. Right? The Lord gave this dummy the birthright. This dummy sold it because he wasn't thinking about, you know, the long run. He was thinking about what he want right then, right now. Right? We want a lot of stuff right now, but we know we can't get it. That don't mean we're gonna let go of the hope that we have. Right? And I'm speaking about the elect. 2/3 minded individuals, they got the same mind as Esau. That's why you got a lot of these niggas selling out. Right? But like I said, man, long story short, man, there's hope in this word, there's hope in this gospel. If you ain't got it, man, I feel for you, boss. You talking about you know, your heaven coming, you know, when you die. I feel for you, bro. Because that means that this life is all you got. You ain't got nothing else. Right? And I said, we understand it's more. This is not permanent. This right here is temporary. This thing that we experiencing every day. Right? It's temporary. And you know, we hope for a better day to come, and we know it's coming because the Lord keeps showing us that it's coming. The Lord keeps telling us and showing us that He real. Right? So Yasha, man, I know I ain't the only one feeling this way. I'm feeling a little somber right now, you feel me? Because like I said, man, this place sucks. This place sucks ass. Right? But we know it's coming to an end soon. Alright, so and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. And now is our salvation nearer than we believe. Alright? Facts. So call Haloyam La Yahweh Ba Shami Hawashai Ba Sham Harakakadash Wa Abba Babal Shalom Yashala.